There you go. Good job. Try, Jordy. So bring your hand away and wait for it to sit. There, then give it. Great job. Good.
Sit. Yes. Down. Yes. Stand. Yes. All done. Ruby, sit. Yes. Down. Yes. Stand. Yes. Good girl. All done. Good job. Ruby, leave it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, take it. Good girl. Ruby, watch me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, good girl. Well done. Good girl. Hey, Ruby. Where'd you go? Yes, good girl. Go cuddle. Yes, good girl. Ruby, stay. Yes. Stay. Yes. Stay. Yes. Stay. Yes. Stay. All done. Ruby, stay. Yes, good girl. All done. Good girl.
Ruby, sit. Stay. Yes. Stay. Yes. Stay. Yes. Stay. Yes, good girl. Alden. Good job.
Good job. Let's go. Good girl. Good girl. Watch me. Good. Stop and sit. Yes. Good. Well done. You still chewing? Girl. Good girl. Yes.
we're going to show you how Ruby does for off-leash hikes. Ready, Ruby? Let's go. Good girl. So I always start out with a high rate of reinforcement, rewarding them every time they check in. And then as I see that I'm getting success and they're staying nice and close, we can start to lower that rate of reinforcement. I want to try to find the sweet spot between rewarding enough so that she will check in here and there, but not so much that she never leaves my side. So see how she's going and sniffing off and exploring sometimes and checking in? That's what we want to see happening. As I'm feeding the treats, it's important to remember that I don't just want to go from giving lots of treats to just stopping giving treats. So we're going to start to switch it up and give praise and affection sometimes, and then other times I'm going to give a treat. The reasoning for that is I want to make sure to acknowledge that behavior and let her know I still like it, even if I'm not going to get her a treat every time. So a common mistake a lot of people make when they're trying to fade the treats is they just stop giving treats and expect the behavior to continue. It's not really going to work out because the dog is learning that it doesn't work anymore once we start to stop giving reinforcement. So what we need to do is play around with the variable rate of reinforcement and also start to switch it up with affection and praise sometimes so that we're letting them know that we do still want the behavior. Good girl, even if we're not going to get a treat every time. And sometimes we do ignore a behavior on purpose, right? So if we have something like jumping up for attention or demand barking, if we walk away and teach them that those behaviors don't work, they give up on it because it's not working to get them anything. And that's a case where we would purposely do that, and that's the outcome that we actually want. But it's not the outcome we want for those check-ins. We want her to continue to offer it here and there, so we've got to make sure to offer some reinforcement for it to maintain that behavior. Good girl, Ruby. Good job. Go play. Out here, I'm mostly just using kibble for Ruby because we've worked together a lot in this environment. It's really easy for her to make the choice to check in and work with me, so I don't have to use a lot of high-value treats. But anytime you go somewhere new or there's more exciting sights and smells and distractions, you'll need to switch it up with some higher value treats. So things like chicken, hot dog, cheese, even chopped up steak. The idea is you want your best value treat to trump anything they're finding in the environment so that whenever you ask them to do something, they happily do it, expecting to get the best outcome from you. Now, as we're building up this reinforcement history that all the best stuff comes from us, it's important to have them on a long line to prevent them from running off and self-rewarding in the environment. So what I mean by that is if I go somewhere new and she runs off chasing birds and squirrels, that's what she's going to find reinforcing. So that's what she'll continue to do whenever she gets into that environment. So what we need to do to prevent that is start her out on a long line so that we can restrict her access to those things so she can't run off and self-reward while we jackpot her for good leave-its and recalls and checking in. And then once it seems like she's reliably making the choice to do what we ask her to do, we can think about fading that long line as we get success and giving her more freedom. Now, it's important to remember that just because she is doing really well right now doesn't mean she's going to be perfect forever. Puppies go through lots of development stages where they stretch their wings and test rules. So if it does seem like she's going through a stage where she's not listening as well and she's testing the rules, that would be a time to make sure to keep that long line on her to make sure that she doesn't run off and self-reward when she's testing those rules. I've hidden on Ruby. We're going to do an out-of-sight recall. Ruby, come! Yes, good girl. All done, go play. So it's not just about food, it's also about coming out and playing fun games with your dog so that you're fun and exciting to work with. One of the games that we like to do lots of is hide and go seek. We hide on them, we call them. When they come racing in and get their treat, we give them a treat and then we tell them to go play. Sending them to go play at the end of that recall is a really important part of the equation because we do not want them to learn that recall ends the fun. Which is another common mistake a lot of puppy owners make, is they use their recall whenever it's time to go, and then the dogs clue in that the fun stops when I come. So then they start to avoid coming when called because they don't want the fun to stop. If we want to make sure to prevent that from happening, we've got to do a lot of recalls where we can back it up with a go play, so it's part of the game and they get to keep playing. And if it actually is time to leave, what I like to do is call them and leash them, give them a good treat, and then say go play and let them keep playing while they're wearing their leash for a few minutes, and then just pick up the leash and go, maybe give a let's go cue or something else, so that they're not making the association that come is going to end the fun. Along the same lines, don't use recall to do anything you think your puppy might not like. So I don't use my recall cue to get them into the bath. I don't use the word come to do their nails or any grooming. I also don't use the word come to do anything they seem nervous about or uncertain about. So for example, if she seems worried about going across a certain surface or through a tight space or through a doorway, don't use the word come to encourage her to do that, because then you risk making a negative association with that word. You want them to hear that word and not even think twice about it and just come racing in to see what kind of goodies they get. That association should be like the music of the ice cream truck, where it always means something good, you get a special treat, and then you get to keep playing. Ruby's headed up ahead. I'm going to change directions and let her know whether this way cute. Ruby, this way! Good girl! Good job! All done, go play. Now realistically, the reward for this way does not always have to be a food reward. It really is just an instruction to follow and letting them know we're going to go have fun in another direction, which could be the reinforcement for the this way cue. But if they come racing in like she did, I do like to give a food reward to encourage a really fast response like that in the future. Good girl.